Hello and welcome to our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week. This week's game features CIF Southern Section Powers Mater Dei and St. John Bosco. Hello everybody, my name is Randy Rosemond, set to call the play-by-play. This is the Professor, Paul Westfall. Paul, we have a beauty tonight. Mater Dei 21-1, St. John Bosco, the Braves, are 18-5.
Well, Randy, I don't think everybody thought Mater Dei would be this good at this point in the season. They lost their top four scorers off last year's Open Division champion. But the young guys are figuring it out. After quality, dominant victories over the likes of Jay Serra and Santa Margarita, the Mater Dei Monarchs are ready for their pursuit of another Trinity League title.
And St. John Bosco, they're a veteran squad.
Well, Bosco's a senior-laden team with high expectations. In fact, before the season started, St. John Bosco was more highly ranked than Mater Dei. But after losing leading scorer Jonathan Salazar to a season-ending knee injury, it's taken the Braves a while to figure it out. But their last two victories are quality wins over the likes of Santa Margarita and Orange Lutheran. So the Braves are ready to see if they can contend for a Trinity title.
It's time for our player spotlights, and they're brought to you by Nissan. We'll start with Mater Dei. They have a brilliant sophomore guard in Devin Askew. He can do it all.
Oh, he is a terrific two-way player who didn't play much last year because he sat behind Player of the Year Spencer Friedman. But he has taken advantage of his opportunities this year. He is a terrific point guard with excellent vision, a great handle, but perhaps his biggest skill, he's a lockdown defender. He is truly a two-way player.
You know, in Los Angeles, we all love LeBron James of the Lakers, but in Bellflower, they adore Chris James.
Well, Coach Matt Dunn told me that Chris James is the most important player on this year's Braves team. He is the team's best defender, and he leads them on offense. He gets them into positions where they can succeed. He's a terrific scorer in his own right. He's averaging over 20 points per game in the Trinity League.
It's the Monarchs and the Braves on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC.
You can probably guess how this is going to go. Uncomfortably close close-ups, ingredients defying gravity, melting this, splashing that, charbroiled double deals from Carl's Jr. Oh, $2.49 each!
How protect what's most important with our family of safety technologies. The 2019 Nissan Rogue comes with automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection standard. Part of Nissan's Safety Shield 360. Protection you won't get from CR-V, Equinox, or CX-5. Nissan Rogue, the safety tech you want and more.
Get a low $239 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 14 models.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
When you hear the word sizzler, do you think steak or shrimp? Perhaps you think both, as in steak and shrimp scampi. Or how about that steak and honey sriracha shrimp starting at $11.99? Yeah, when you hear steak, shrimp, and $11.99, you want sizzler.
At Edison, we know that creating a clean energy future takes teamwork. So we found ways for factories to lower energy costs and kept jobs here, while Ava found rebates to afford her first electric car. And while you're moving to smarter energy use, we're moving to more renewable energy. Together, we have all the power we need to build a brighter future for everyone. SCE. Energy for what's ahead.
Peter, where are you going, and why are you dressed like that?
Well, Lois, I happen to be a Muslim now, which means I'll be spending a lot of my time in mostly empty cafes watching soccer on an 8-inch black and white TV.
Family Guy, tonight at 10 on KDOC TV, Los Angeles.
You can probably guess how this is going to go. Uncomfortably close close-ups, ingredients defying gravity, melting this, splashing that, charbroiled double deals from Carl's Jr. Oh, $2.49 each!
The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. And by Shakey's Pizza. What's for dinner? Shakey's Pizza. Chicken and Mojos. Now just starting at $9.99. Starting lineups brought to you by our friends at Nissan. Of course, they're rowdy here already. For Mater Dei, a very young lineup.
Well, the Monarchs normally start 3 sophomores and 2 juniors tonight because Ryan Evans is out with the flu. It'll be Devin Askew, Nick Davidson taking Evans' place, Aiden Prukop, the only junior, Harrison Hornery, and William Breedenbach for the Monarchs. For St. John Bosco, it's a senior-dominated lineup with Josh Camper, Joshua Ado, Chris James, Christian Estrada, and Jalen Manson rounding out the starting lineup for Matt Dunn.
In a big win earlier this year against Santa Margarita, Christian Estrada in overtime had 3 huge baskets. He was the hero that night. Maybe he's one of the players that'll step up against this very potent young modern-day team. There's Devin Askew. He's hard to miss on the floor, and again, he's a terrific two-way player.
Yeah, he will run the offense for Mater Dei. He'll get this talented group of shooters the ball in positions where they can succeed.
Estrada will jump in the center circle. Wilhelm Breedenbach, number 32 in red, will be doing the honors for the Monarchs. The legendary one, there he is on the sideline, Gary McKnight in his 37th year, the winningest coach in the history of California prep basketball. Ron Warren will toss up the basketball, and we're underway. And the Monarchs and Askew will go on offense first.
You'll notice that Mater Dei has a size advantage at every position on the floor, but the Bosco Braves are an aggressive bunch, and they'll alternate between man-to-man and a 2-3 matchup zone.
Jumper from the side, an air ball by Breedenbach. Fans here appreciate that defense. And the Braves will go on the attack for the first time.
They'll use 4 guards, and they've probably got 6 guys on the team that can effectively shoot the 3 ball. That'll be one of the great keys tonight.
On the sideline, Jalen Manson turns it over. First 30 seconds of action. By the way, both these teams can score. They average 77 and 75 respectively. Inside, Breedenbach kicks it out. Corner 3's offline, taken by Prukop. And St. John Bosco can't go back the other way. In transition, they turn it over again.
A couple of unforced turnovers by Bosco, and for a team that is got as many seniors and experienced players, I think they're just a little amped up tonight, possibly because we're here with KDOC, and it's the Monarchs in town.
And it's senior night. They always want to play well on senior night. Askew with a good look inside, but it's lost. Tipped away, unfortunately, for Mater Dei. It was last touched by Bosco.
But you called it right, Randy. A nice entry pass by Askew. Because the Monarchs are tall and long-armed, they should be able to get the ball in the paint with some degree of effectiveness.
Askew coming off a game against Santa Margarita where he had 10 points and 10 assists and played lockdown defense. Inside, Davidson for 2 and a foul.
Terrific high-low action from a deeper spot than normal, but an excellent find by Breedenbach as he finds Davidson for the easy one.
Davidson averages 9 points and 6 rebounds a game. Just a sophomore, a transfer from Santa Margarita Catholic, and he has the 3-point play. And soft pressure in the backcourt by the Monarchs. James beats it with a pass into the forecourt. In low, the shot is up, and another foul as Estrada went up strong.
One thing I've noticed about Bosco in the 4 times I've seen them play this year, they space the floor really well, and they did it again that time and got the ball inside to Estrada, who knows he's at a size disadvantage, but excellent pump fake. Got himself a 2-shot opportunity.
And the lefty gets St. John Bosco in the book. Came up from the JV a few weeks ago and has really helped out. Gives him some size at 6'7" and 185 pounds. Very physical player. Early lead for Mater Dei at 3-1. 90 seconds into action, and the Braves playing tight defense force another Monarch turnover. James in the open court. Ado for 3. Run down by Breedenbach. Hornery has the triple. Harrison Hornery He's from Australia. He has a marvelous accent, that Aussie accent.
And a wonderful three-point stroke as well. He is a pure shooter.
And again, the Braves turn it over. They're going on the sideline. You'd think they know this building. They play here. This is their home game. But a couple times they've turned it over, stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, those are errors of enthusiasm. They're just a little amped up right now, but a chance for the Monarchs to extend their lead.
Askew is the trigger man. That pass surprised Hornery. James all the way draws the foul. He'll go to the line. Boy, he can accelerate in the open court.
He's absolutely fearless driving to the basket. He is a slasher, scorer type who can also knock down a jumper. But if you give him a sliver of space, as Askew did that time, a little bit of a Euro step through the contact, gets himself a two-shot opportunity.
James averages 13 a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And as Paul alluded to earlier, he is their best defensive player. Just all-around skills, just a solid all-around guy.
Normally saves his best game for the best competition. He had 25 against Santa Margarita and 18 against Sherman Oaks Notre Dame.
That's why we call him Big Game James.
I like that.
With apologies to James Worthy, the former great Laker. Greenbach under duress, a near steal from Camper.
The Braves they'll bang you. They like to play aggressive.
Askew is blocked brilliantly. Estrada, and there's a block at the other end by Prukop. Greenbach has the carom for the Monarchs, and the action picks up. Hornery, offensive foul. As he knocked down Jalen Manson. Fans love it here at St. John Bosco.
The capacity crowd loves it. Look at the chase down block by Prukop. The young Monarchs, I wondered how they would respond to physical play, and so far they are matching the Braves shove for shove here in the first 4 minutes.
This first quarter is a grinder. Not easy for either offense, and again, they're very talented at that end of the building. James for three. He is a big game player, isn't it?
Outstanding drive and dish by Manson. He nutmegged his defender and then kicked it out to the open James for the three ball.
Bosco has a very deep bench. They'll bring in a few. The next time it's dead, they have 3 ready to report in.
And the refs are letting them play. A lot of contact.
Hornery again. That was a contested 3. Blocked by James. Another block inside, that one by Estrada. It'll stay with Mater Dei. Just above 4 minutes to play, opening quarter of fever pitch at St. John Bosco. We're even at 6. Big plays at both ends, including a Hornery 3.
More craveable than Shakey's handcrafted pizza? Adding a second Shakey's pizza for just $5. Introducing Shakey's new buffalo chicken pizza, drizzled with ranch dressing and tangy wing sauce, now just $5 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. Shakey's, dinner is served.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
What's more craveable than Shakey's handcrafted pizza? Adding a second Shakey's pizza for just $5. Introducing Shakey's new buffalo chicken pizza, drizzled with ranch dressing and tangy wing sauce, now just $5 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. Shakey's, dinner is served.
Chris James with a big 3 had the cheerleaders and the audience here at St. John Bosco really going. Paul, you love the defense, though, at both ends of the building.
Well, one thing I was concerned about was the fact that you're going to have a lot of contact on the perimeter. Bosco likes to play that aggressive pressure defense, and if the refs call touch fouls, it would really be difficult for Bosco to play that way. But they're letting them play, and I think the sequence of the 2 block shots got this capacity crowd on their feet, and that really ramped up everybody's intensity. So far, it has been just as good as advertised at 6-6.
Wonderful environment.
Let's take a look at some of the keys to the game while we're waiting for this free throw. For Mater Dei, Ponce de Leon. He's not a transfer from Florida. He's the fountain of youth. Mater Dei starts 4 sophomores. This young team been playing better and better all season long. Where there's a will, there's a way, and I'm talking about Will Breedenbach. Will, I think, of the sophomores, has the biggest upside. He's a 6'8 forward with long arms, great footwork in the post, and he can finish with either hand. And then, of course, a balanced diet. Monarchs have 6 guys who average double figures, and in 12 games this year, they have had 5 guys in double figures. Different leading scorer every night for the Monarchs. Randy, I know you believe in a balanced diet.
Yeah, I need one.
And then for St. John Bosco, Olivia Newton-John. And you're going, what? Well, what's her favorite song? It's Get Physical.
And Prukop with a throwdown. 2 foul shots, and that bucket by 8. And suddenly it's Mater Dei by 4.
And then Space Invaders, the three-point shot. Both teams average about 10 threes a night. Who's going to get out there and close out on those three-point shooters? No space available. You got to invade that space on the perimeter, and you got to believe. I've watched so many games in Mater Dei's history where teams outplayed them or had the lead in the fourth quarter, but then they look up at the scoreboard and you can tell they just didn't believe they can win. If Bosco is close in the fourth, do they believe they can beat Mater Dei? They did last year on this floor. Can they do it again?
Gomez, who's entered, one of 3 substitutes. Lewis, number 2, is another one, along with Paul, number 3. Lewis comes up empty. Askew with the rebound. Surveys the floor and scores beautifully. That's how gifted Devin Askew is. He got the ball, came up the floor, and made it look easy.
He would rather be a pass-first point guard, but if you let him get into a position where he can succeed, he will, and just like Chris James will.
Well, Chris James, scoring leader throughout the season, and he's shouldering the burden early in this quarter. A near steal by Gomez. Inside, another flush. The slam dunk by Hornery.
He is a 3-level scorer. We've talked about the three-point shot, but he can go to the rim and finish with authority.
Good look from the corner. Gomez didn't quite connect, and a foul on St. John Bosco. It's whistled against number 23, Christian Estrada, his first. That's just 3 on St. John Bosco, so it's a common foul, and Mater Dei to bring it in.
You saw the terrific drive and bounce pass inside to Hornery for the flush. Those 2 guys work really well together.
Mater Dei staying with its starting 5. St. John Bosco's already played 8. Prukop in traffic. 15 on the shot clock. Breedenbach from deep. Rebound taken down by Joshua Ado. And James again, so quick in the open floor.
Might be time to get number 5 a shot, and they do.
He heard you. He drilled it. Beautiful shot by Joshua Ado. He averages 13 a game.
But capable of 20 on any given night. He had 22 against Long Beach Poly, 23 against Santa Margarita.
Yeah, Ado was all Trinity League last year, 14-11 Monarchs, and there's another 3 ball, and Prukop's having a very, very good opening quarter.
He's kind of a stealthy scorer, very smooth, and if he hits a couple early, he's capable of really lighting it up.
A takeaway by Davidson. Askew from downtown. They say his foot was on the line, so it's a 2. 19-11. That was very close. James the other way misses, and Hornery has the carom. Mater Dei looking to run with 1:14 to play in the quarter. Downtown again, the 3 ball off the iron from Hornery. Underneath, picked up by St. John Bosco's Manson, and we have a foul.
Foul going to go against Prukop. I thought Davidson might have got away with a foul on the offensive rebound, but then the Braves stole it, so it became a moot point. But wild end-to-end action. And then you look up at the scoreboard and you think it's a pretty even contest, and it's an 8-point Mater Dei lead. That's kind of the way it's been this year for Mater Dei. Because of their ability to hit from distance, they're a very good three-point shooting team this year. Suddenly you look up and you're down 6, you're down 8 after you thought, well, we're handling this pretty well.
They're very explosive, and another Prukop takeaway. A rejection brilliantly by Lewis. Lamage Lewis from behind. Manson for 3. That's a 5-point turnaround.
Oh my, outstanding block by the sophomore Lewis. At 6'3", he's got long arms, and he didn't quit on the play. And then every time both these teams get possession of the basketball, they're going to push the action. And they get one in transition with Manson.
Breedenbach double teamed. We have a foul against the Braves. One thing about Matt Dunn's basketball team from St. John Bosco, they work hard at the defensive end.
Yeah, they do. They'll play 32 minutes of physical, aggressive basketball. When you ask them to get physical, they will. And that's the same way Matt's teams were at Damien, where he won a 3 AA title in 2013 and a state title in 2015 with the Spartans.
Foul against James.
Fouls on number
15 foul.
Chris James.
Just 24 seconds
His first.
left of the opening quarter, 19-14. You see it on our Pacific Surfliner scoreboard. Our game of the week. Thrilled you're with us inside a puppy. An easy one.
Defensive breakdown by the Braves. Davidson should never get open that easily for a 2-footer.
And Mater Dei not to be outdone. They're playing some terrific defense, but they give it back to the Braves. Gomez is fouled. Boy, you can see the rivalry. This is an intense battle. This is like their football rivalry, you know. St. John Bosco and Mater Dei, they're really going at it.
No doubt about it. I think if these two schools were playing checkers, there'd be a capacity crowd and they'd be into it.
Logan Cremonesi has entered for Mater Dei. Where's number 4, Cremonesi? James from way downtown. Had to take it as the quarter concludes. Well, we have a football score with 2 football schools. They're pretty good in basketball, blocking shots. And after one, it's Mater Dei by a touchdown. On our Surfliner Game of the
Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
You can probably guess how this is going to go. Uncomfortably close close-ups, ingredients defying gravity, melting this, splashing that, charbroiled double deals from Carl's Jr. Oh, $2.49 each!
We just made the stress of your commute disappear. Introducing the all-new, impossibly smart Nissan Altima with Pro Pilot Assist. It's groundbreaking tech that takes the stress out of heavy highway traffic by helping you stop and start without touching a pedal. Experience Altima at your local Nissan store.
For a limited time, get a low $239 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
You can probably guess how this is going to go. Uncomfortably close close-ups, ingredients defying gravity, melting this, splashing that, charbroiled double deals from Carl's Jr. Oh, $2.49 each!
quarter. Speaking of great action, look at this tomorrow. ACC hoops. You know, Louisville's got a couple great wins this year over North Carolina. They won that game on the road at Michigan State. Coach Bray does a wonderful job with Notre Dame, and of course North Carolina State is nationally ranked. That's a great twin bill.
Oh, no doubt about it. Best conference in the country year in and year out. Notre Dame, of course, losing former Mater Dei alum Rex Pfluger for the season, but he's just been awarded an extra season, so he'll do his grad work at Notre Dame, and it's nice to see that Rex will get one more chance at a final season for the Fighting Irish. But the ACC's got 9 teams within 2 games of first place, so that's anybody's conference early on in the conference year.
How ironic that we have a football score with these 2 schools. Out in front, Lewis running the point against the Mater Dei zone.
Mater Dei switched, to a 2-3 zone, so what you'd like to see there is either dribble penetration or reverse the basketball very quickly. Once you get the defense to slide around from side to side, then maybe you can get yourself an opportunity to penetrate the zone or get the ball into the high post. But we got a tripping foul going against Mater Dei. Nobody in the bonus yet, but Mater Dei will shoot on the next Bosco foul.
Before the shot, the foul. Terrific finish by Christian Estrada. In the NBA,
right,
a 3-point
play.
play.
I was just going to say, at different levels of basketball, this would be an and one, but there's no continuation to that degree in high school basketball. So it'll be it either has to be a non-shooting foul. Oh, that's the 7th team foul on Mater Dei. Okay, I was going to say that's either non-shooting or you got to count the basket. But yes, they go to the line to shoot.
It's quiet in the building on these foul shots. He does not earn the bonus. Cremonesi has the carom.
Missed opportunity there for Bosco. Chance for Mater Dei to get it back up to 10 with a 3-ball.
Hornery out of the corner. And James is fouled. Over his back was Cremonesi.
Logan's a banger. He knows his role. He's a defender and a rebounder for this team, but just a little bit too aggressive that time. Now James will get a chance. Bosco's got to make their free throws. When you get into the bonus with this much time left in the second quarter, there's 7.5 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. With the way they like to take the ball to the basket, you'd think they might have a chance to shoot quite a few free throws this quarter.
Well, early on, you can see why James is a first-team All-CIF selection from a year ago and their most important player. And I would billboard it, he's fun to watch. Mater Dei by 5.
Oftentimes, Bosco likes to run and jump as soon as you cross the half-court line, get that second defender to get the point guard, get the ball out of the point guard's hand.
Beautiful entry to Hornery, and he has 2 more. And the Mater Dei bench up, they enjoy that execution.
Great diagonal pass by Prukop. Mater Dei's length has proven to be an advantage. If they can get the ball into the paint, they certainly should be able to score over the smaller Braves.
Camper with a nice entry pass and the slam dunk from Christian Estrada. But Camper made the play with the penetration.
Exactly right, Randy. He drew the second defender to him and then a quick pocket pass to Estrada for the finish.
Askew draws a crowd, and he turns it over.
Are they going to get an offensive foul? Yes, they are. An offensive foul on Askew. I thought maybe he stepped on the sideline, but look at the flush by Estrada off the nice pass from Camper.
Brent Rummel, our lead official, made the call, working with Ron Warren and Frank Obergon.
Frank's also an outstanding football official, so he's a busy guy.
Lob inside. That's a great entry again, and Estrada scores. James with the feed.
Coach McKnight not happy with the passive nature of the back line of that defense. You should never be able to get in that easily.
But he'll like the offense. Great execution. And Cremonesi scores again. He's come off the bench and looks good for Mater Dei.
Excellent high-low pass once again. Second time that Breedenbach has been the instigator. He's been the one that's delivered the ball right on time.
6 minutes to play in the half. Thrilled you're with us on our Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week. And another 3-ball, another triple for Chris James. Boy, he has money in big games.
Well, and Monarchs a little bit lazy on the closeout. If you allow James to rise up unencumbered, he's going to make more than he misses.
They worked Breedenbach on the baseline, and he's hacked.
Bosco went back to a man-to-man defense, and that leaves Gomez at 6'2" on the much taller Breedenbach. And you can see there Gomez doing all he can to try to prevent the entry pass. But once it got over his head, it was an easy access for Breedenbach, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Bosco go back to that matchup zone.
Braves back to within 2, chopping that deficit down. Prukop for Askew, and Breedenbach back to the iron. That's a team rebound as it goes out of bounds to the Braves.
As good as Breedenbach is, that is probably the thing he does the least well, and that's shoot that wing 3. And I think that the Braves will say, we'll let you take that, Will, until you show us you can make a couple.
Well, if there's a will, there's a way, right?
That's right.
For the lead. 3-ball could have given him the advantage. Last touch underneath by Jeremiah Paul of St. John Bosco.
Well, you saw the athletic ability of Jeremiah Paul as he soared over the taller Monarchs, just didn't have great position to get his hand on it. But the Braves have weathered the first punch from Mater Dei, who had a 7-point lead at one point as Askew gets fouled on the drive.
Showing us that he's ambidextrous, putting that one up with the left hand by his natural ability. He is a right-hand shooter.
And he's really strong. His upper body is strong. You can see it in his torso that he's going to be able to play through contact. And with his ability to go either right or left, makes him a very tough cover in man-to-man defense.
Askew's a 4-star recruit, already getting a number of offers and looks from Division I. He personally likes the University of Oregon, although he has not committed. Still early. He's a puppy. Only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time for that. Comes from an athletic family. His dad played soccer at Fresno State, of all places.
Lead is 3 from Mater Dei on defense in red.
About time maybe to get number 10, Gomez, a shot. He is a streaky shooter.
James all the way. Great rebound by Paul. Gives St. John Bosco a second opportunity, but it's lost out of bounds by Fernando Gomez.
Boy, that's what I was talking about invading space out there. Gomez was getting ready to launch a 3 after the offensive rebound, but Prukop took the extra stride and got out there and got his hand up and forced Gomez into the turnover.
4.5 minutes to play in the half. 3-point lead for the Monarchs. Askew with the step back 3. Foul underneath.
Davidson working hard, got inside position and got himself a foul.
26-23, Mater Dei leads in a very entertaining opening half in Bellflower.
Help protect what's most important with our family of safety technologies. The 2019 Nissan Rogue comes with automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection standard. Part of Nissan's Safety Shield 360. Protection you won't get from CR-V, Equinox, or CX-5. Nissan Rogue, the safety tech you want and more.
Get a low $239 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 14 models.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
And, of course, next week on KDOC, we'll be at the Nike Extravaganza, the 24th annual Nike Extravaganza, a showcase of outstanding basketball teams from all over the country. We will have for you the Oak Hill Academy Warriors coming out to California for the last time, take on the Santa Margarita Eagles. That's live at 7:30, followed by live at 9 o'clock. It's these Mater Dei Monarchs taking on Harvey Catani's Rolling Hills Prep in 2 outstanding games. That's coming up Friday, January 25th on KDOC.
You talk about legendary coaches, McKnight and Harvey Catani on the same floor in the same game. That's a lot of wins.
That's got to be close to 2,000 victories right there.
Of course, Gary McKnight with 1,028 starting tonight. Hard-working number 32, Breedenbach, Wilhelm Breedenbach. Well, your thoughts? Early on, Bosco's playing them tough.
Yeah, as I expected. Having watched these teams, early deficits don't bother this experienced Braves team. They fell behind by 7 early. Looked like Mater Dei might have had the upper hand, but the Braves are so aggressive defensively that they're going to take you out of your offensive rhythm. And then for the Braves offensively, they got enough guys that can fill it up from outside that it creates spacing. They've been able to get to the basket a couple of times, but I've been impressed with the Mater Dei sophomores. They have absorbed a lot of physical play from the opposition, and they've dished out as much as they've got.
That's Nick Davidson at the line. They tried to sneak Harrison Hornery in there, but the officials wouldn't have anything of it. And Nick says, wait a minute, I can knock him down from the charity stripe.
Of course, Nick's dad, Kirk, played basketball at Nevada, and his mom, Kelly, played volleyball at Nevada. So Nick certainly comes from athletic genes.
Lead up to 5 for Mater Dei. Tough week on the road for the Monarchs. They won earlier at Santa Margarita on Wednesday. Now on a Friday night, they play St. John Bosco. The schedule wasn't favorable, but if they can get out of here with a win, it'll be very impressive. And Probably give them another Trinity League championship,
Yeah.
which they're used to doing.
No
winning
question
that
about
league.
that.
Open look, Camper in and out and back in.
Great job by the sophomore Lewis to drive as far as he could, and then with a reverse pivot, kicked it back out to the open shooter, and that is what Bosco does best, drive and kick to a plethora of perimeter shooters.
Askew working the baseline. Great defense by Lewis, number 2. Now working against Prukop. Number 2 doing a wonderful job. And he forces that air ball. You cannot do it any better than Lamage Lewis. Paul, yes, the 3 ball for Jeremiah Paul, and it's the Braves by 1.
You better get back in transition defense if you're the Monarchs. You don't have time to complain that you were fouled. You don't have time to talk about anything. You better get back, because they'll get back and kill you with that 3 ball in transition.
Devin Askew taking it strong to the cup.
Askew with a great crossover and then knows he's going to get clobbered, but still takes it as far as he could, elevates, and gets a 2-shot opportunity. Devin Askew is a tough kid.
Boy, it's a wonderful environment. This is a great introduction on KDOC for you at home. What the Trinity League is all about. Wonderful teams in the open division. They figure to get at least 2 and an outside chance of 3 to get into the open division this year.
I think it'll be tough to get 3, just due to the fact there's a lot of really good teams out there. But I think the Trinity League runner-up will get in for sure.
I knew the professor would
Just
have a comment.
There's
on
so
that
many.
thought.
There's so many good teams in Southern California this year. The open division should really be a great test of the best in the Southern section.
We see a lot of those teams on our Pacific Surfliner KDOC game of the week. 1-point lead for Mater Dei. Ball deflected out by the hustling Devin Askew.
Excellent hustle that time by Askew, coming all the way down to the baseline from his point guard position to interrupt that drive.
The Doe to bring it in. Camper, who just hit the 3. Scotty Washington has entered for the first time. He wears number 22 in white. Paul, quick trigger 3, doesn't go down. And Hornery rebounds. Askew with the fall away. Oh, he's smooth.
Oh, might have got away with a little off elbow shove to create some space, but then that combined with the step back gave him a lot of room to shoot that little mid-range.
Another 3 ball up and in for Josh Camper. He's drained a couple of them in this quarter. We're even at 32.
He's got that quick release, so if you're not out there, you're late.
Inside Washington, battling with Breedenbach, picked up the foul. Exactly 2 minutes to play. A tick under it now, 1:59 in a wildly entertaining second quarter.
I'll say excellent triangle offense that time from Mater Dei. Got the ball from Davidson into Breedenbach, who gets himself a 2-shot opportunity. We've had 19 fouls in this first half, and I honestly think the referees have let them play. That's how physical it's been out there tonight.
With the Nike Extravaganza next Friday. Looking forward to that. Oak Hill Academy is going to come in with some terrific talent out of Virginia.
Goodness. Yes.
Talk about a challenge for Jeff Reinhardt's Santa Margarita team.
Oh, I'll say they'll be up to it, but that is an arduous task.
James knifing inside, did not finish. Askew again, scissoring inside. That's going against Devin. Terrific defense by Camper. He got knocked down, but he took the charge.
And this is Bosco in a nutshell. They know there's going to be contact. They're not afraid. Camper steps in and took it in the chest. Offensive foul against Askew gives Bosco a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3.
That's huge. That's Devin Askew's 3rd foul. Of course, at the Preple level, you're eliminated with 5. So Gary McKnight's putting him on the pine for the remainder of the half.
Isaac Peralta, a freshman, in at point guard for Mater Dei.
See how he performs. Washington. Davidson, the only one there, and he is from Mater Dei to rebound.
Washington just got in the game. He's only touched the ball once, yet he's clear to shoot a corner three. Everybody's got the green light for Matt Dunn's Braves.
Krukop, that's an offensive foul. Easy play to call as he knocked down Camper.
These last two plays have indicated to me that halftime couldn't have come any sooner for Mater Dei. They look like they're getting a little frustrated at the constant body contact in the attacking zone that Bosco is putting on Mater Dei, and that's two off-elbow fouls in a row.
Krukop looked more like Drew McCoy, the great All-American in football who helped win a national championship for the second year in a row for the Monarchs.
Monarchs going 2-3 zone here.
Over the arm, a little bit too strong there for Ado. Inside of a minute to play, opening half. Monarchs by 2. Greenbach with the left hand. Pretty finish. Very strong. He went right through Fernando Gomez.
Will's really good with either hand, and you'll see that throughout the game. It doesn't matter what side of the basket he gets it on. He can finish with that nice soft touch. And that time he took a look at the smaller defender and thought, I'm good from here. Last shot time for Bosco.
Shot clock is 2 seconds ahead of the game clock. The 13th prominent, Chris James. 3 ball. Yes. He's sensational, Chris James. It's a 1-point lead for Mater Dei. And the Monarchs are going to the line with 1.2 seconds left. You don't want to commit that foul.
Well, I thought Chris James' 3 was just a touch early, but it goes in, so you're not too mad at that. But that gave Mater Dei 7 seconds to get the ball up the floor, and Krukop saw the clock and realized if I go to the basket here, there's a good chance I'll either get a layup or a foul. He gets the foul.
Paul's foul sends Krukop to the line. He has 1 more. We're going to have a tight score at intermission. 1 more for Aiden, the junior. Again, this is a very young club. All underclassmen. Gomez from backcourt. Not a bad attempt. After the first half here at St. John Bosco High School in Bellflower, California. Askew and the Monarchs lead by 2.
What if you drove an SUV that paid attention, even when you didn't? Like the Hyundai Kona, the only car in its class that monitors steering and lane position in order to alert tired or distracted drivers. Driver attention warning from Hyundai. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
Lease the 2019 Kona for just $199 a month, or get up to $1,250 in total savings. Only at your SoCal Hyundai dealer.
At Edison, we know that creating a clean energy future takes teamwork. So while we're modernizing the electric grid, the Garzas modernize their roof to be the first on their block to go solar. We're helping reduce emissions from cars and trucks for cleaner air, so kids on every corner can focus on just being kids. Together, we have all the power we need to build a brighter future for everyone. SCE. Energy for what's ahead.
Okay, so you've been to the happiest place on earth. It's great, right? But I bet you haven't done this, or that, or been here. I bet you haven't met her, or him, or them. Ooh, dance off. And this is incredible. You see what I did right there? And when's the last time you felt like this, or that, or, I mean, come on. That's basically a perfect moment. It's time to make some magic for as low as $60 per person per day.
Over 100 years ago, we were talking about the Model T. Now here we are, talking about winning the most J.D. Power IQS and Appeal Awards, talking about driver assist technology, talking about the highest customer loyalty in the country. But that's enough talking. Seriously, that was a lot of talking. Back to building.
Now get an F-150 with 0% financing for 60 months plus $3,000 bonus cash. Only at your Southern California Ford dealers. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
At intermission, as you can see on our Carl's Jr. scoreboard, 37-35. A lot of highlights in that first half. Great action for 16 minutes. Very enjoyable. Inside, Davidson with an easy one. Then outside, Hornery knocks down a three. Of course, Modern Day, a very good shooting club. How about that Prukop block on Camper? But then James, we call him Big Game Chris James with the three. And a James block. And another rejection, that one from Estrada. But Askew is so smooth. Takeaway by Prukop leads to a basket. A lot of great highlights. And again, James sifting through traffic. How about that backdoor move on the baseline by Hornery, and Askew found him. Beautiful pocket pass there leads to another St. John Bosco hoop. And the three ball by number 3, Paul. And there's Askew again doing his thing. Chris James knocks down his triple. He had a few of those in the opening half. They love it here at St. John Bosco. Terrific highlights. And we have a wonderful schedule to show you. This is Modern Days, and you can see a lot of W's.
Four sophomores out of their top 6 players. Of course, they got a couple of tough ones coming up as they go to the home stretch. They'll play Camarillo, who's an outstanding team in one of those showcase games. Then they'll play St. Bernard as well. Rolling Hills in our KDOC Nike Extravaganza game, and then Harvard Westlake the next night, and they're outstanding players, and then Orange Lutheran to finish out the Trinity League season. But they finally get a home game, Randy, on the last Trinity League game of the year.
That's a look at some of the games Modern Day has been able to go through, and now we take a look at what St. John Bosco has been going through lately, and it's extra sessions, free basketball for everyone against Etiwanda in Santa Margarita.
Well, you can see there, with the exception of the Rancho Verde game, who's really good and a possible open division team, all of their losses have been really close losses. I mean, when you lose in 2 OTs to Etiwanda, and then that big win over Santa Margarita in one of the most exciting games I've had the pleasure to see, they took out the Eagles in OT right here.
That's a look at St. John Bosco and their schedule. We'll step out. This is our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC.
You can probably guess how this is going to go. Uncomfortably close close-ups, ingredients defying gravity, melting this, splashing that, charbroiled double deals from Carl's Jr. Oh, $2.49 each!
We just made the stress of your commute disappear. Introducing the all-new, impossibly smart Nissan Altima with Pro Pilot Assist. It's groundbreaking tech that takes the stress out of heavy highway traffic by helping you stop and start without touching a pedal. Experience Altima at your local Nissan store.
For a limited time, get a low $239 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
When you hear the word Sizzler, do you think steak or shrimp? Perhaps you think both, as in steak and shrimp scampi. Or how about that steak and honey sriracha shrimp starting at $11.99? Yeah, when you hear steak, shrimp, and $11.99, you want Sizzler.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
Growing up in the 80s, I didn't just love movies, I lived them. Maybe a little too much.
The Goldbergs, tonight at 9 on KDOC TV, Los Angeles.
You can probably guess how this is going to go. Uncomfortably close close-ups, ingredients defying gravity, melting this, splashing that, charbroiled double deals from Carl's Jr. Oh, $2.49 each!
Here at St. John Bosco, why not? 37-35 Modern Day. We're getting closer to that second half, and you can see Chris James with 15 points above everybody.
Well, we talked about him in the open, how he is the team leader, the most important guy on the team. And when the offense was struggling, it was James who took control of the offense from his point guard position, leads them with 15, but a bunch of three balls from the rest of the guys. That will be big in the second half if Bosco can continue to shoot threes. Balanced scoring for the Monarchs as we expected. They've had a number of games this year where they've had 5 guys in double figures. Askew leads them with 9.
And that is no shock. So our 2 guys that we previewed on the pregame leading the way at intermission. 15 for Chris James and 9 for Devin Askew. We have a tight battle as we get set for the second half here at St. John Bosco High School in Bellflower, California. It's 37-35 Mater Dei.
More craveable than Shakey's handcrafted pizza? Adding a second Shakey's pizza for just $5. Introducing Shakey's new buffalo chicken pizza, drizzled with ranch dressing and tangy wing sauce, now just $5 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. Shakey's, dinner is served.
Waves aren't the only thing I surf. I surf the air. I surf roads, lanes, and alleys. Drop in on mountainsides and carve through valleys. I surf the ocean. I surf adventure. I surf California.
During the Start Something New event, well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Compass for $99 a month.
This Saturday, it's an ACC doubleheader. It starts at 11 with number 17 ranked NC State battling Notre Dame for the win. At 1, expect an exciting matchup as Louisville and Georgia Tech face off. It's 4 hours of back-to-back ACC basketball starting at 11 right here on KDOC TV Los Angeles.
At Edison, we know that creating a clean energy future takes teamwork. So we found ways for factories to lower energy costs and kept jobs here, while Ava found rebates to afford her first electric car. And while you're moving to smarter energy use, we're moving to more renewable energy. Together, we have all the power we need to build a brighter future for everyone. SCE. Energy for what's ahead.
Who are you, George Costanza?
I'm the Ben, Lord of the Idiots.
Seinfeld, tonight at 11 on KDOC TV Los Angeles.
What's more craveable than Shakey's handcrafted pizza? Adding a second Shakey's pizza for just $5. Introducing Shakey's new buffalo chicken pizza, drizzled with ranch dressing and tangy wing sauce, now just $5 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. Shakey's, dinner is served.
KDOC TV is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. And by Shakey's Pizza. What's for dinner? Shakey's Pizza, chicken and mojos. Now just starting at $9.99. And we're about to start the second half. Mater Dei taking their final shots prior to this back half. And let's go to the professor here. Paul, what do you expect to see here in quarter number 3 from these 2 teams?
Well, I think more of the same. I think you'll see really aggressive defense, particularly in the half court. I would expect to see Mater Dei do a little more drive and kick. They've got a number of outstanding three-point shooters, but they kind of got out of their offensive flow a little bit late in that second quarter. And something really to watch that could really have a huge impact on the game is the 3 fouls on Devin Askew. If he picks up his 4th early in the third quarter, it would force Gary McKnight to have to sit him on the bench, because I don't think Askew can play a quarter and a half without fouling. That's just his nature to be aggressive. So if he gets an early one in the 4th, Mater Dei will be going to their bench, and without Ryan Evans, their outstanding 2-guard who's out with the flu, Mater Dei a little short-handed in the backcourt.
Really too bad. We would have looked forward to seeing Evans. Ryan's got 73 threes this year. He's coming up again against Santa Margaret, where he had 19 points and 5 threes. So Evans is out, so Mater Dei a little bit short-handed, but they still have great talent. We begin the third quarter. Here's Askew with the ball and his 3 fouls. So he's going to have to be a little bit careful in the third. Prukop. Yes, a terrific stop for Aiden Prukop and Mater Dei in the third.
He is a streak shooter, and hitting his first one coming out of the locker room is huge for Mater Dei.
Ado answers at the other end of the building.
I thought they forgot about Joshua a little bit. He hit his first shot, a 3-ball, I think, midway through the first quarter. And I don't know if he got many more shots the rest of the half.
Breedenbach. Well, that was an aggressive move. It's a blocking foul. Fans here wanted the charge, but Ado was not set.
I'm not sure he wasn't. No, you're right, Randy. Excellent call, Randy. He was set, and then that last little slide step is what cost Ado that time.
Breedenbach will toe the stripe. Wilhelm Breedenbach wears those goggles. For you old timers, kind of has that Kurt Rambis look.
That he does. One of many outstanding students on this modern day team. Their team GPA is over 3.5, but Wilhelm, is a 3.9 GPA. His biggest influence in his life so far is Dr. Seuss. So I'll just let that one lay there.
I don't have a follow-up for that. Well, Wilhelm calmly nestles the first one through.
I think he's going to be a really good player. He might be the next great modern-day player. Has all the skill set, just needs to get a little stronger.
And you know he will as time goes forward. Again, this is a baby brigade at Mater Dei, very young, all underclassmen. Figure to be one of the great teams in the country next year. And certainly a contender for the CIF Southern Section Open Division title this year. They're playing well.
Yeah, I think they're a year ahead of time, but they're not going to complain about that.
James with that up fake. Krukop slapped it away. Ado sees Breedenbach end up with the ball for Mater Dei.
Wow.
It'll go to St. John Bosco.
There was a great deal of contact from the far end of the court to this end of the court, and that goes as a no call. Coach McKnight and I are in agreement.
A 3-ball for Bosco could tie it. Camper's shot, and air ball goes straight out of bounds.
Good defensive pressure by Mater Dei on the ball, and then they rotated well enough to make Camper uncomfortable and forced the air ball.
Well, after Mater Dei blew out Santa Margarita on Wednesday, some of the so-called experts thought Mater Dei was on a hot streak, would come in here, and with Salazar out, they might have their way and blow out this fine St. John Bosco team, but that hasn't been the case. This has been a very tough basketball game for Mater Dei. They do get the hoop inside from Cremonesi.
Excellent high-low action again by Breedenbach. He's a very willing passer from out there. He can see over the top of the defense.
Hornery has Askew. That's a foul coming over the back on Mater Dei, and it looked like it was Harrison Hornery. It was.
Hornery getting an explanation from our lead official, but clearly he came over the back. Just because you're taller doesn't give you the right to climb the shoulders of the guy in front of you, and that's an easy call.
Another corner three up and in. Beautiful three by Ado.
One of the hardest workers on the team, Matt Dunn tells me, and he is a creative scorer, but so far that corner three has been to his liking.
Like Matt said, he's the hardest worker he's ever had. And Mater Dei, they don't connect in a rare giveaway as Horny in the low post. Hornery tried to hit Davidson. It's a 2-point game. St. John Bosco right there on their home floor.
They fear no one. That non-league schedule where they played some of the toughest teams in Southern California has made them ready for the
crossover by James. Chris James ties it at 43.
First we've heard from Chris James after his 15-point first half. Back to even.
Askew. Oh, that's a wonderful throw inside to Breedenbach, and he's rejected but fouled as he was contested by Jalen Manson.
A summit at the rim and a foul.
How about that look-away pass from Askew?
He has all the skills. A totally different player than Spencer Friedman, last year's point guard, but becoming equally effective.
Spencer Friedman, in 2020 there's an election coming up for president. You're telling me that Spencer Friedman may throw his hat in the ring? He's not 35.
I talked to Spencer when he announced he was going to Harvard last year, and I said, Spencer, what do you want to do after basketball? And he said, Mr. Westfall, I want to be president of the United States. I said, well, I'll vote for you, and if you get in, can I be the ambassador to the Bahamas?
Monarchs take a 30-second timeout with 5:06 to play in the third. And we have a wonderful schedule for you on KDOC. I think you're going to like this. Some wonderful games.
Oh my gosh, well of course next week it's the doubleheader. Oak Hill Academy coming out to California for the last time, always nationally ranked, with a team full of NBA prospects against the Santa Margarita team that we've seen play very well on some nights, and if they bring their A game, they're as good as anybody. Mater Dei and Rolling Hills Prep in the finale. Then Etiwanda and Chino Hills, those two teams don't like each other very much, and there might be a league title at stake. And then Sierra Canyon and Rancho Christian, number 1 and number 2 in the state of California, going head-to-head before the playoffs. We'll have playoff games in the LA City section final for you on KDOC. Looking forward to the rest of the season, to be sure.
Should be Westchester and Fairfax, and let's hope they get that teacher strike squared away so we have basketball.
Yeah, I'll take that bet. I think those two are the best in the LA City.
Camper hits again. Josh Camper got the score at 45.
We got a little perspiration on the floor that Bosco's going to take care of. But Camper got a nice on-ball screen about 20 feet out that freed him up for one bounce dribble and a rhythm three-pointer, and the Braves have hit a lot of threes in this game.
Camper's a 41% three-point shooter.
Was that a 2? Thanks, Randy.
Yeah, they said his foot was on the line.
Jason Quinn has been more animated here in the second half. Jason, of course, 24 years as an assistant at Mater Dei. On the 1990 team, which this team, the Mater Dei team, reminds me a lot of the 1990 champion that didn't have any real stars but had balanced scoring throughout. Jason Quinn, a reluctant shooting point guard, made a three-pointer at the buzzer to beat Long Beach Poly in the Southern California final that sent those 1990 Monarchs up to the Bay Area to win the state title.
I wanted to check and make sure it was a 2. We're even at 45. Prukop. Davidson gives the Monarchs a second opportunity, but he threw it away. Bosco for the lead. Camper. Yes! The 3 ball from Josh Camper.
Great play by Estrada to get the rebound and then push it. The hit ahead for Camper and the wide open 3.
Building is loud. We have a holding foul against St. John Bosco. Under 4 minutes to play. Third quarter, it's Bosco hitting deep shots. They lead by 3.
Protect what's most important with our family of safety technologies. The 2019 Nissan Rogue comes with automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection standard. Part of Nissan's Safety Shield 360. Protection you won't get from CR-V, Equinox, or CX-5. Nissan Rogue, the safety tech you want and more.
Get a low $239 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 14 models.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
The Monarchs down by 3 on the road at the midway stage of the third quarter.
Well, Bosco needed to hit, I thought, 4 or 5 more threes than Mater Dei. Both of them came into tonight's game making about 10 threes per contest, which is really a large number. But I think Bosco's had the better of the three-point shooting contest tonight. That's just unofficially, but it looks like they're making more from distance.
Now, it's a shortened Trinity League season. They only play 5 conference games. Mater Dei's 3-0, St. John Bosco 2-1. This would be huge for St. John Bosco if they could pull off what would be deemed a mild upset. Deflected away. It's James again in the open court. And he's fouled by Breedenbach. He's playing possessed, number 13.
Oh, they play at warp speed all the time, but if they get a turnover and get out in transition, that time it was 3-on-1, I thought James might have been better served to pass it to the cutter on the right wing, but he got the 2-shot foul, and so if he makes them both, then that actually was a better play because it got another foul on Breedenbach.
Chris James already has an offer from UC Davis in his senior year, but I gotta believe there'll be more.
How could you not want a guy like this? I know he's not a 5-star recruit and he's not NBA bound, et cetera, but this guy plays with so much heart and emotion, and he's got a great skill set. He could play for me anytime.
And I love his leadership. He talks out there, he communicates. There's Matt Dunn in his 4th year. Marvelous record, doing a terrific job here in Bellflower, California with St. John Bosco. Breedenbach from deep. Nice box out by Lamage Lewis. And here he comes the other way. Ado has a lane and stuffs it. A throwdown. They love it here at St. John Bosco. Askew walked.
Place is going absolutely bonkers. And this is why Joshua Ado with the high rising flush, and the Braves fans are ecstatic. And Gary McKnight, if Bosco gets one more, Coach McKnight might need a timeout.
In some turnaround, Mater Dei led early, but St. John Bosco, after a sluggish offensive first quarter, has come on. Gomez with an air ball. Mater Dei will go back the other way.
He is a pure shooter, and I know that he probably doesn't shoot 2 air balls a night. So Gomez a little bit disheartened, a little disgusted with himself there.
Askew has done a nice job not picking up that 4th foul here in the 3rd. Young Mater Dei team will be tested on the road the rest of the way. Breedenbach with the left hand on the baseline. That was spectacular.
Oh, that's a major college move by Breedenbach. He got as far as he could and ran into a double team and just rises up with that left hand. Pretty shot.
Lewis blocked beautifully by Davidson, and here come the Monarchs. And Breedenbach running the floor beautifully. Hornery for 3. Davidson with a strong effort is fouled.
Nick, 1 against 3 on the offensive glass. Look at him clear out some space and go and get it. That's half of rebounding is desire. You got to want and go and get it. That had to make Dad Kirk very happy. The sophomore at the line.
Lewis picked up the personal foul.
Good shot remaining for Davidson. Estrada checks back in for the Braves.
Estrada and James back in for Bosco. Camper and Gomez go out.
1 of 2 for Davidson. The lead is 4. 2:20 remains, 3rd quarter. Ado goes to work. Beautiful job pitching it in the corner to Paul. And again, a nice rebound by Davidson, and they came over his back. Nick Davidson doing an excellent job off the window for Mater Dei.
This is a man's rebound here. He is in heavy traffic, and he rises up and gets it. Gets an over-the-back foul on Estrada, which is his 3rd. So far, though, Randy, something we were looking at, can Devin Askew play the whole 3rd quarter with 3 fouls? Well, he's gotten almost through it. There's 2 minutes to go in the 3rd, and Devin still with just the 3.
And Gary McKnight off the bench directing his team. And inside, bodies are tumbling. Hornery got knocked down.
he got discarded by one of the interior defenders.
It was Lewis. Lamage Lewis is a player that's really coming on for St. John Bosco. And with the injury to Jonathan Salazar, that's good news for Matt Dunn's club.
Yeah, Coach Dunn told me for a sophomore, he plays with a presence that belies his years. He makes very few mistakes and is a really solid on-ball defender. So he never minds when he has to bring number 2, Lamage Lewis, off the bench.
Well, these teams working hard. Camper has come back in. Paul is out of the Bosco lineup. Mater Dei 21-1.
The one loss to Chicago's Whitney Young very early in the season.
Greenbach comes up empty. James the other way. Ado, a little bit too strong with that one.
Good defense by Breedenbach. The Mater Dei length that time on the wings proved to be effective.
Another hold inside.
And if that's on Estrada, and Frank Obregon's got the call, and he does have it on Christian, that's 4 on Estrada.
And he's 6'7". He's the size, really, for St. John Bosco. Of course, he's battling all those tall trees.
Matt Dunn forced to go to his bench. He can't expect Estrada to play 9.5 minutes without fouling, so Christian will sit for a while.
A little bit smaller as Estrada, who's just a solid citizen inside, a sophomore who's emerging. Breedenbach has another one.
Jeremiah Paul,
is 3.
Sorry, Randy. Jeremiah Paul replaces Estrada. He's a little bit shorter, but I think they weigh about the same. Jeremiah Paul, a well-built 6'4", 210.
Corner, he got it back. And we have a tie-up. Boy, these teams are battling. You want effort, you're getting it from both sides.
You are. It has been incredibly aggressive basketball. Players on the floor all night long. A tough game to referee, because if you start blowing your whistle at every bit of contact, I think we'll be down to about 3-on-3 at some point.
That might be fun, though. Open the court up. If James, the guy with the ball's out there in a 3-on-3, it would be entertaining. Good drive, and Lewis comes up empty. Prukop contested the shot.
Mater Dei was down 7, and Bosco had the ball. They've weathered the threat so far, and a 3-point shot here would tie it up late in the third.
Inside of a minute. Down low on that low block in the paint. Davidson again is going to go to the free throw line. He is a man, and he's just a young kid.
Once again, the high-low action, not from the free throw line where you normally see it, but out beyond the three-point arc. But you could see excellent work in the truck. That replay there showed how Will Breedenbach can see over his defender, which makes that entry pass a little bit easier. And then on the other end of it, Davidson working really hard to gain advantageous position. Gets himself a 2-shot opportunity.
Well, Gary McKnight's going to take his star, Devin Askew, off the floor for this final minute of the quarter. Bring in Isaac Peralta, the freshman point guard, try to steal a minute. 2-point game. Camper can't find it from long range. Boy, but every time he gets a look, you hold your breath because he's such a good 3-point shooter.
And everyone has the green light. No one is forbidden to shoot that thing. It might have just been a touch early in the shot clock.
Prukop for 3 in the lead. Came around that screen and knocked it down.
Defense closed out just a touch late, and Prukop has a quick release. Doesn't need much space. And the Monarchs have run off 8 in a row.
Mater Dei by 1. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. James working against Peralta, and Peralta held him. That's tough for a freshman to go out there and work against Chris James.
And he battled him pretty good, but that's only the third team foul on Mater Dei. Quite a difference from the first half where Bosco was shooting the bonus with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Mater Dei playing hard defense without fouling here in the third.
3 seconds left in the quarter. No time to get the shot off. Ado posting up on the baseline. Strong drive, and he got it to drop at the end of the quarter.
Wow.
Terrific move by Joshua Ado. It's Mater Dei down by 1. Prukop gave him the lead for a moment, but Ado got it back for St. John Bosco.
Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
You can probably guess how this is going to go. Uncomfortably close close-ups, ingredients defying gravity, melting this, splashing that, charbroiled double deals from Carl's Jr. Oh, $2.49 each!
Don't miss the New Year's OC 405 RV show that runs from Friday, January 18th through Sunday the 27th at Mike Thompson RV in Fountain Valley. Show price to sell, $405 at Euclid, MikeThompson.com. Don't miss a moment, and we are desperate for trades.
Spend the day with us at the Orange County Marketplace. Enjoy delicious food, cold beverages, and live entertainment as you wander the aisles filled with specialty items made available by the small local businesses. OC Marketplace, affordable family fun.
You can probably guess how this is going to go. Uncomfortably close close-ups, ingredients defying gravity, melting this, splashing that, charbroiled double deals from Carl's Jr. Oh, $2.49 each!
Final 8 minutes in a 1-point game. The Braves by 54-53, and we have a nice Trinity League year going.
Well, you mentioned how they only play each other once, so only 5 league games. So you can see how a loss from Mater Dei tonight would put the Trinity League probably into a 3-way tie. And it's conceivable the way the schedule is laid out. You could have a 3-way tie when it's all said and done for the league title. And that's when I think 2 for sure would get into the 8-team open division if it wound up tied for 3 tied for first.
Askew back in. Prukop again from deep. Ado rebounds for St. John Bosco. That's a travel on number 5, Ado.
Jason Quinn called for it on the previous ball handler, and then Ado just a little bit too quick with that first step before putting the ball on the deck. 2 empty possessions, 1 on each side to start the fourth.
Breedenbach finds Askew on the baseline. Davidson tried to dunk it, threw it up over the rim, and here come the Braves. And Askew with the theft. He pilfers it away. It was a great save by Askew. Beautiful closeout by Camper.
Well said, Randy. That was perfect.
Prukop cannot connect. So we're still at 54-53 Braves. We played over a minute, just over a minute here in the fourth. James is short. And Mater Dei looking for the lead. Askew had it tipped away. Going to be a foul on Ado. Number 5 jumped on Prukop.
If there's a ball on the floor, it's like piranha. They are all going to go after it teeth first. And Ado with the foul. Prukop will go to the free throw line. Now, Estrada's back in the game for Matt Dunn as we have a look at the Mater Dei Brain Trust on the sideline. Jason Quinn, McKnight, etc. But Estrada, number 23 for Bosco, is in with the 4 fouls. How long can he play in this physical of a matchup with 4 fouls? That'll be a test for Estrada.
I was about to say 1st and 10 Mater Dei at the 50 because they were right at midcourt there. Yeah, these teams are rugged.
And if there's a loose ball, you better be prepared to get on the floor, and you better be prepared for you're going to get some contact. Now, Mater Dei will be in the bonus. They'll be in the double bonus on the next foul. They'll be in the bonus for the last 6:44 of this game. A chance for the Monarchs, perhaps, to get points without making baskets. And in this one, with baskets is hard to come by. Free throws might be the difference.
a kind role. Aiden Prukop would say that's my shooter's role. Monarchs have only committed 3 second-half fouls, so they're in a good position there. Davidson puts it in.
That's just effort. That is hard work from Nick Davidson, the sophomore who started tonight in place of Ryan Evans, and he has been working hard against older, stronger guys all night long. Credit to Nick.
And one. James with a chance for 4.
The closeout by Hornery. Hip checks him to the ground. It's a good call, and it's a chance for a 4-point play. And who else, Randy, who else but Chris James when things get tough?
Chris James, we called him Big Game James. This senior, 6'2" and 175 pounds. And 25 of the thriller, the victory over Santa Margarita. He is a stat stuffer, and he does everything exceptionally well.
Oh, and it just seems like when they really need something, a basket, a steal, good defense, he's there on whatever they need.
He deposits that one for a 4-point play. And from 2 down to 2 up for St. John Bosco. They post Breitbach. That was a beautifully designed play.
Field goal by Breitenbach.
Monarchs have scored often with the high-low action. We talked about how they're bigger at every position on the court, and that time they used it to their advantage to get Breitenbach an easy one.
The draw is 58. Camper did a nice job handling the ball.
Excellent defense by Askew because James, he was going to go for a heat check there.
Camper from 28 feet. We told you he's a 41% three-point shooter. That was from way out yonder. So the last 2 trips down the floor, St. John Bosco got a 4-point play and a 3-point play. Breitenbach shot not close.
That's the one, as I mentioned in the first half, that's the one I think Bosco will be content to let him shoot the 3. Chance to extend the lead here.
And the experience factor goes with St. John Bosco. A lot of veteran players against a young but very talented modern-day team. Camper draws the foul. He's knocked down. He's going to the line.
Outstanding effort here by Camper to make himself skinny by twisting his body away from the charge attempt from Breitenbach. And he'll shoot a pair.
Breitenbach has 3 fouls. Camper camped at the charity stripe. Very consistent play. There's a lot of the little things, but one of the big things he does is knock down perimeter shots.
They have probably a half a dozen guys that on any given night could be the leading scorer, and that's one of the real things that make playing St. John Bosco so difficult is that you're not sure who to concentrate on.
You could say that really about both teams, right?
Yes.
Well balanced.
I agree with that 100%.
I'm glad that you agree with me. Want to have some unity in the broadcast booth. Askew at Mater Dei down by 5. Breitenbach again with the left hand, couldn't score the ball. It's out of bounds, it'll stay with Mater Dei. Again, Nick Davidson battling for the Monarchs.
Davidson has kept so many possessions alive just with his excellent work on the offensive glass. But you saw the fancy footwork from Breitenbach there. He just didn't get the little left-hand runner to go.
We're down to crunch time, just above 4.5 to play. And some real pressure on Mater Dei. Askew, a 2-point jumper. Breitenbach came over the back. Timeout on the floor. 4:27 left. Mater Dei, even though they can hit some shots like that one from Prukop, James and company, the James gang is doing well.
From a big SUV with standard 7-passenger seating to a hybrid SUV with 43 mpg combined, at Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Lease the 2019 Nero LX for $179 a month.
This is not a bed. It's a revolution in sleep. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed is on sale now during the January savings event. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable. It even helps with this. So you wake up ready to put your pedal to the metal. Save up to $500 on select Sleep Number 360 smart beds, now ranked #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses by J.D. Power, plus free premium delivery and 36-month financing. Ends Monday. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep.
From a medium SUV with available all-wheel drive to a more compact SUV with iconic styling, at Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Lease the 2019 Soul Base for $169 a month.
Paul Westphal, what will Mater Dei need to do to rally in the final 4.5 minutes to get the Trinity League title on their own here tonight?
Well, I think they're going to have to pay more attention to the perimeter shooters of St. John Bosco. They've been able to get those shots off because there has been a little bit late on the closeouts for Mater Dei, and I think you'll see more intensity with their length, particularly on the wings. Offensively for Mater Dei, I think Askew's going to have to take control now.
Braves have the ball and a 5-point lead. The clock is their ally. We're closing in on 4 minutes to play, and they can be a little bit more deliberate.
Mater Dei in kind of a matchup 1-2-2 zone here.
Ado can't find it. Rebound inside, an easy one. Putting it back in beautifully was Jalen Manson. And the lead balloons to 7. Askew, a blocking foul. Fortunately for Mater Dei, he didn't pick up his 4th. She collided with Camper.
Blocking foul at number 0.
I think at this point, this is what Mater Dei is going to rely on, and that's going to be the creativity and strength of Devin Askew. You can see there, he drove into the contact, but even if they didn't call it, if it ended up being a no call, he was able to kick it out to an open 3-point shooter.
Double bonus, so Devin is shooting too. He's so unselfish. You almost like to see him shoot it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's excellent. I would agree with that, Randy. But point guards, pass-first point guards are becoming sort of an endangered species. A lot of these guys like to create for themselves, but Askew's not one of those.
No, he is a very talented player. Gets 2 here. Very versatile, strong with the ball, and has really matured in his sophomore year.
Yeah, changes direction, changes speed really well. You'd think he was a senior the way he plays.
Mater Dei needs defensive stops. They're back by 5.
Going into a little bit of a 2-1-2 zone, a little bit of pressure in the backcourt. But Bosco's a tough team to press because they have so many guards out there.
Yeah, they're quick, and they handle it so well.
With that extended defense, there's more space for the Braves to drive. Let's see if they can get to the rim.
8 on the shot clock. Ado, yes. Another 3. This one from Joshua Ado, and he approves of his marksmanship.
Excellent drive and kick by the sophomore Lewis that time.
Askew answers. That's a big-time play.
Mater Dei wants a timeout. They didn't get it. Jason Quinn halfway to the other end of the court screaming for the timeout, but it didn't come. Actually, it worked out better.
Davidson with the steal, and Nick Davidson has played well in this second half.
He's been excellent.
Askew nearly lost it, and it's taken away. They're going to have a timeout. Braves take the timeout. They're going to have the ball.
Jason Quinn is out at midcourt. He wanted a timeout, didn't get it. Bosco did.
Lead is 5. Big shot again by James.
He's done it all. You can see how he's fearless, penetrating, driving to the basket. He's scored, he's passed, he's defended. He's been everything that Coach Dunn told me. He told us how good this kid was, and he has led them back to a position where they might just find themselves in a tie for the Trinity lead. That's Chris James doing it all.
the other James in Southern California. There's LeBron and there's Chris. And he's put in a LeBron type of effort tonight. He's done it all, shouldering the burden for St. John Bosco. Side of 2:40 to play for the Braves. This would be huge for them. It would give them their 19th win of the year. It would get them to 3-1 in the Trinity League. They would tie Modern Day for first place.
Plus, I think it puts them back into serious consideration for the Open Division, because a little bit of a stunning loss to Jay Serra in an overtime game in the Trinity League, plus the loss of Jonathan Salazar, where they ended up losing 4 of 6, I believe, kind of took them out of the Open Division talk. But a win over Modern Day puts them right back in it.
Can't question the heart of either team. They've truly battled here for Modern Day in a very hostile environment.
Monarchs must get out there on the three-point shooters. Can't afford to let them make one more.
Ado with the reverse is special.
He lost his shoe. They wanted to get a timeout, and they're going to stop play and let Ado put his shoe back on. And I got to say, that's got to make Modern Day a little bit unhappy.
How often do you see a finish like that when you have a flat tire and you lose the shoe? Well, Modern Day's down by 7. Fans in Bellflower can sense a victory. James with a near takeaway. Breedenbach able to draw the foul. He got Ado up in the air.
Good pump fake. That'll get him a couple of free throws as they're in the double bonus.
That's an advantage Modern Day has if they try to make this comeback, and it's not going to be easy. They can get to the foul line. They'll get the automatic 2, which stops the clock, and then they can set up a press.
Exactly right. I would expect to see them not settle for threes anymore tonight. I would expect to see them take it strong to the basket on every possession. At the worst, you hope to go to the line.
Modern Day's 21-1. But they're in deep trouble here with 2 minutes to play.
Full court pressure, but as we talked about, I think Bosco would be a tough team to press.
Great effort by Breedenbach. Askew's going back to the line. What a steal by Wilhelm Breedenbach.
Showing his toughness, got on the floor to get it, and then had the presence to find Askew, who goes strong to the glass. He'll shoot a pair, and just as you mentioned, Randy, Modern Day able to catch up without time running off the clock.
Yeah, these fouls aiding and abetting the Monarchs.
But you got to make them, and let's see if Askew can come through.
It's a 4-point game. Obviously, if he hits the next one, it's a one-possession contest, and St. John Bosco is far from in here. This Modern Day team is very talented.
I would expect the full court pressure to continue.
James, triple team. Somebody's got to be open. It's Camper. Modern Day on a run out and a foul. Askew cut off by Camper, who committed the personal. And Devon's going back to the line for 2. And the natives are restless. Matt did not like the call. In his 4th year, Matt Dunn.
Dunn beside himself on that one, but it's Bosco's own fault. They had an open look, but the shot missed, and nobody went for the rebound. Modern Day had 3 go for the loose ball, and now Askew has a chance to cut it to 1. Expect more full court pressure from Modern Day.
Devon is really stepping up down the stretch. He has been money. And he cuts it to 1. The lead reduced with a great foul shooting in the 4th. Lewis Holloway and scores!
What a play from the sophomore, end to end, weaving his way through Modern Day defenders.
Modern Day back by 3. Crowd chanting defense here, and a 30-second timeout taken by Modern Day.
Good timeout by Gary McKnight. They need an effective possession here. You know, both these teams have a shot at the Open Division, and as we get toward crunch time here at the end of the regular season, here's Westfall's Watts. Now, these are just my ideas. The Open Division is an 8-team division, and I think there are 3 locks right now. I think Sierra Canyon, Rancho Christian, and Corona Centennial are certain Open Division performers. Josh Giles' team has only lost to Sierra Canyon and Rancho Christian. But 2 teams that are turning the key on that door, these Mater Dei Monarchs and Dave Kleckner's Etiwanda Eagles. Etiwanda with a big road victory at Damien in league. They've still got some work to do, but I think they're just about home for the Open Division. Then knocking on the door for just those last 3 spots, you've got Rancho Verde, who's played some tough non-league competition. The second place team out of the Baseline League will be Damien or Chino Hills. We'll have Chino Hills at Etiwanda later on in our schedule. The Mission League champion, they have 4 really good teams, but I think only one gets in, and that'll be the champ. The Trinity League number 2, I think, is a certainty. That could be either of these teams, actually. Long Beach Poly and Brentwood round out the teams that I think have a shot at the Open Division. Now, if you disagree, I'll give you Randy's cell phone number, and you can call Randy and complain.
It's been disconnected, and so has been the possession. A little bit of disarray there, but Greenback able to rescue it. It's a 3-point game. A minute to play. Askew. Ooh, would have counted had it have gone, and Devin is going back to the line. Boy, he is so good with the ball. His body control is marvelous.
He's so strong that he's able to absorb contact and still get a reasonable shot up there. But a few minutes ago, you asked me what I thought was going to happen for Mater Dei, and I thought this man right there, number 5, is going to have to take over the game. He doesn't like to shoot, but when the game's on the line, he'll shoot it, and he has been the one who has led Mater Dei back from what was, I believe, a 7-point deficit?
Yeah. How relaxed is Gary McKnight on the sideline? I guess he's seen it all over 37 years. Remarkable. His teams win 30 every year, 91% winning percentage, but he's so relaxed, not fazed by a very, very dramatic game.
No, he has seen it all. When you've won 91% of your games, which is a better percentage than Morgan Wooten from DeMatha or Bob Hurley Sr. from St. Anthony, Gary McKnight has truly been a Hall of Fame kind of a coach. 11 state titles, 23 CIF.
Standing room only here at St. John Bosco, sensing a victory, but Askew's at the line for 2, trying to get Mater Dei closer.
If
Ice
Bosco,
in the veins.
It's been nothing but net. But if he misses, Bosco's got to box out. Nick Davidson, number 35, has been excellent at getting offensive rebounds.
It's a 1-point game.
Mater Dei takes the press off. They'll play this one straight up.
72-71 for the Braves. St. John Bosco 18-5. And they have a real shot to knock off Mater Dei. Biggest possession of the night. Lost out of bounds. Off of Gomez. Mater Dei can take the lead.
Jason Quinn came out to midcourt and told Mater Dei to extend the defense, and they did. They went out there on the perimeter shooters, and Aiden Prukop forces the turnover. Here's a chance for the Monarchs to take the lead.
McKnight off the bench, takes the timeout. Final half minute. Of course, we have more great action for you tomorrow in the ACC. Doubleheader, NC State nationally ranked, playing Notre Dame, and Louisville and Georgia Tech. That's great basketball for you right here on KDOC.
Oh, no doubt about that. NC State coming off a tough loss to Wake Forest, looked to rebound against a young Notre Dame team without their senior leader, Rex Pfluger. And then the following week, wow, we got some more good games on the ACC. On Saturday, January 26th, you got Georgia Tech going up against number 1 Duke. Duke with the loss of their point guard, Trey Jones, but anytime you still got Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett and Coach K, you're going to be all right. And then Clemson will take on NC State. Clemson got their first victory in ACC play just this last week.
Yeah, that's a fun Duke team to watch with Williamson and Barrett and others. Final half minute. What do you want to see here from Mater Dei?
Well, I think you'll see obviously the ball in the hands of Askew. I would expect to see a high screen maybe to get him some space. Bosco's going to go what looks like into a extended matchup zone defense.
Of course, you don't want to foul. You're over the limit.
Got to get the ball back into Askew's hands, and he'll create.
Gavin terminates. Hornery for three. And a
Foul.
Monterey foul. Was coming down with it was James.
Mater Dei got the look they wanted, one of their best three-point shooters, Hornery from the corner, but look at James secure that rebound. Excellent box out, and he'll shoot the 1+1.
Well, I guess there's no one else you'd rather want there. These fans certainly want Chris James there on the 1-and-1. Got to make the first to earn the bonus. No matter what happens here, Mater Dei will have a shot to at least tie it. Still could win it.
He's been money all night long.
And he's celebrating. And well he should. You love his enthusiasm. And there's the clapping and the leadership. Seems unfazed by the moment. It's a three-point game. Timeout taken by St. John Bosco and Matt Dunn to map out his defensive strategy. You know Mater Dei is going to look for the triple.
No question about that. You got to wonder if it gets late in the shot clock if Matt Dunn is a believer in the foul situation rather than giving Mater Dei a chance at a three. Of course, next Friday we've got a doubleheader coming from the Nike Extravaganza, the 24th Nike Extravaganza. Oak Hill Academy comes from Virginia to take on Santa Margarita. Oak Hill nationally ranked as always, and Santa Margarita with Kaiman and Agbang Polo can be trouble for anybody. And then the nightcap, Mater Dei is going to take on Rolling Hills Prep in a matchup of two of the best coaches in the history of California high school basketball, Gary McKnight and Harvey Katani. That's next week, Friday, right here on KDOC.
I like that guard, too, Kendall McHugh at Santa Margarita, very good player. But that'll be a challenge against that team from Virginia.
Yes, it will.
Mater Dei is going to go the length of the floor. They have 22 seconds left, down 3. Fans standing at St. John Bosco.
If I'm Bosco, I might run and jump at Askew and see if he can get it out of his hands before the last seconds where he can drive and kick to a three-point shooter. We got a foul.
And it's on Gomez, who pleads his case. It's 2 shots for Mater Dei.
Might not be so bad.
Well, if you're going to foul, you want to foul a little bit later.
Well, that's true, but I mean, of all possible outcomes here, if Mater Dei makes 2, Bosco has the ball and the lead. Might force Mater Dei to have to foul Bosco. And
2 for Aiden Krupa.
Now, if you're Bosco, you must box out. Manson and James talking about just that. Mater Dei has had a lot of success crashing the offensive glass tonight with their size. So if you're Manson and James, the 2 guys on the low block, you must get a body on the guy next to you. You have to secure the rebound here if they miss.
It's a 2-point game. They take the foul quickly, and that's what you wanted to do. The camper that's going to go to the line, and it's a 1-and-1 still, so there's still pressure. You missed that first shot.
Oh, yeah.
Mater Dei still has an opportunity here.
No doubt. What you're hoping for is a miss, but you're hoping for, at the very least, just 1 out of 2. That would give Mater Dei the same scenario they had just seconds ago, down 3 with the basketball.
Of course, Camper, who's such a good shooter, if he can knock them both down, then they'd have Mater Dei by the neck. Be a 4-point game.
Coach McKnight wanted to know if he had any timeouts left. He was told yes, they have 1 left, so I would expect that they'll call it if he makes them both.
The lead is 3. This one's huge.
Camper's been a 3-year varsity player like so many of the Braves, and they just seem to respond to pressure admirably.
St. John Bosco, the last thing they need here is they can ill afford a foul. They want to knock down the foul shot and don't foul. It's a 4-point lead for St. John Bosco. Askew quickly into the forecourt. And he draws the foul. Nearly had a 3-point play, and that's the last thing the Braves wanted to do is foul Askew. There's still 8 seconds left.
Yes, a lot of time left in this game. I took a look at Matt Dunn, and he just had
He's agonizing
of
over there.
Anguish over there as the whistle blew. Just let him have the layup, young men. Give him 2, but don't give him 3. Jason Quinn orchestrating these last 8 seconds for Mater Dei, and a good look at Chris James, who has been the star of the night. In a night when Bosco has had their usual balanced scoring, James, though, has stood out.
Manson just fouled out, Jalen Manson with his 5th. That's why we had this stoppage. It wasn't a timeout. It'll set number 5, Devin Askew, back to the free throw line. And there's still a little bit of life for Mater Dei. They've only committed 8, so if they get the foul shots, they can commit the foul. It would still be 1-1. Askew for 2. Right hand push. Perfect.
Oh, I mean, he has made every one.
I said it before. Ice in the veins.
Yeah, you wouldn't think he's a sophomore. I mean, if you just watched him play.
Brings his team to within 2. And a quick foul on Camper. It was Hornery that got over there. Just under 8 seconds left.
Nice inbound play from Matt Dunn. What you'd like to do anytime you get in this multiple trips to the line situation is try to get the guy the ball who just made 2, because he's feeling pretty good about himself. So they ran a play where Camper was the guy who came to the ball knowing Mater Dei was going to foul immediately, and now you put Josh on the line, who's just drilled 2 the last time he was there. And I think this is playing out just the way Matt Dunn would like it to.
Yeah, Hornery just fouled out for Mater Dei. He's replaced by Clay Donahue, senior captain.
An excellent three-point shooter is Donahue. If somehow the ball finds him and they're down 3 late in the game, Clay won't be afraid to take it.
Good 1-1 for Camper. Garrett McKnight looking on, wanting a miss here. His young Monarchs are living on the edge. He gets the miss. It's a 2-point game. A chance for Mater Dei. Askew, offensive foul. He knocked down Paul.
Oh, that's such a tough call. Late in the game, the court is spread. There's contact, so I guess you got to call something. But man, that's borderline, and Jeremiah Paul drew the charge, much to the disgust of the Mater Dei coaching staff. That's a tough one. And now the Monarchs forced to foul again.
Inbound, and there's the quick foul and a takedown. Camper's going back to the charity stripe. Just above 1 second left.
Number 35,
Davidson wasn't trying to hurt him. He was trying to hold him up, actually, when he made the foul.
Double bonus for the Braves.
Now it's in the double bonus. St. John Bosco. If either one of these go in, Mater Dei would have to throw in a long one to tie it. If they both go down, then Mater Dei will fall here at St. John Bosco. Camper can ice the game. 1.1 second officially left. He's got one more. It's double bonus.
Yeah, they'll bring them all back.
Now, if you're Mater Dei, in a sense, you really want him to make this.
Yeah, that's a good point, Randy, because then you can throw it the length of the court and see what you can come up with. And if I'm Matt Dunn, I'm telling Camper to miss this.
Camper's looking to the bench. He's yelling at his coach, should I make it or miss it? Well, he just got the indication from Matt Dunn. I think you're right. I think he's going to miss it. We'll see. No, he put it in.
I'm surprised at that.
So Mater Dei down 3.
I don't understand that. I mean, I'm missing that. It's going to take part of that 1.1 seconds to rebound the basketball, leaving you less than 1 second and 3/4 the length of the court to traverse to get a shot. I'm just surprised. I would have had my guy miss that.
Monday, January 20th.
With that said, if you're Modern Day, how do you diagram a play to get the quick 3 up?
Well, it's the kind of thing you work on a lot in practice. What they'll do is run one of their 2 shooters off a number of picks, try to throw the ball, I think, into the deep corner on one side of the floor or the other, and you'll see if you can get at least some kind of a look at it, because those half-court shots, they seldom go in.
2-point. Will not do them any good. They need a 3 for the tie.
Yeah, 77-74. And I'm not sure why Bosco's got pressure in the backcourt, because I would let some guy shoot it from 60. I mean, if he makes it, he makes it.
Well, you'll probably see the baseball pass here by Davidson.
Yes, and I think that they'll try to run Prukop, another timeout. With the lineup that Mater Dei had in there, the 2 shooters are Prukop 14 and Donahue 3. And it looked like they had them set up like wide receivers on a pick play to see if they can fake going toward the ball and then run a fly pattern down the sideline and see if they can hit them and launch a 3 on the run. And the percentages of any of this happening are rather small.
Of course, we'll be at the Nike Extravaganza next week. Modern Day, Rolling Hills Prep, Santa Margarita, Oak Hill Academy. That'll be the first one. Modern Day will be the nightcap. Great action in our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week. And this one's been a terrific battle. And St. John Bosco is on the cusp of knocking off Modern Day and throwing the Trinity League up for grabs.
Oh, man, I'll say, with just one league game left for everybody, you could easily have a 3-way tie when it's all said and done if Modern Day doesn't come up with a miracle here. You've got Donahue and Prukop on the sidelines in essence, and those are the guys I think will be the intended wide receivers.
Modern Day sideline pleading for more time on the clock. And the officials are going to confer.
I just don't know how they can look back and justify that. I mean, it's a decent argument from Jason Quinn, but I honestly don't understand where you would be able to find a reference point to put even a few tenths of a second back on.
Got to kick some of the Modern Day fans behind us for chanting 1.8. Trying to get almost a full second back. I don't think I've ever heard that where they're chanting for the clock.
No, it's an intelligent bunch back there. Basketball savvy.
Let's hear it for the clock. It's still at 1.1.
Yeah, I think
Jason Quinn's not going to win this argument.
No, it's got to stay there. They don't have the capability of going to replay like they do at the college and pro level. And there you see Jason pleading his case, but I just don't think anything's going to happen here. Matt Dunn says, let's go. I just, like say, if you come back and look at a monitor, which you can't do at this level, maybe you could do it. But here we go.
It's inbounded. Askew for the tie. Not far off, but St. John Bosco and their faithful mob the floor. They knock off Modern Day 77-74.
The game was everything we thought it would be, full of high-speed collisions, outstanding three-point shooting, and steel nerves at the foul line for Bosco down the stretch.
And the 2 stars shine. Chris James for St. John Bosco and Devin Askew for Modern Day. Modern Day 21-2. Bosco improves to 19-5, both 3-1 in the Trinity League. That's going to wrap it up from Bellflower. For Paul Westfall and our entire David Otter production crew, I'm Randy Rosenblum. This has been the KDOC TV Game of the Week presented by Pacific Surfliner. We'll see you next week when we'll be at the Nike Extravaganza. Good night, everybody.